All right, what's up, WrestleText community? I meant to have headphones. They're dying. They're not working for me, so I hope you guys can hear me. I wanted to give you something a little different today. I want to talk about the technique of hand fighting, a couple of key points for me, and I want to hear your feedback. All right, let me know what you think. Let me know if this is valuable stuff for you. This is the stuff that works for me in my wrestling, so I wanted to share it with you. All right, first thing is your position. Okay, always head up, back straight, butt down. Okay, my hands able to touch the mat. Okay, if my hands are able to touch the mat, then I know I'm low enough. All right, standard position, the beginning of hand fighting. Okay, next is elbows in. Okay, if my elbows come out and I start reaching up here, they're gonna have a straight shot to my legs. All right, it's not gonna work. Okay, so I got to keep my elbows in and my hands down. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, which works on position, is I'm gonna hand fight. Okay, I'm gonna go straight for the hands. All right, by going for their hands, if I can collect a wrist, now they can't attack me. Okay, and that's super important in this hand fighting, because then I almost have free reign to get to work. Okay, so it's almost like a defense first philosophy. I'm staying in perfect position in case they try to attack me from the open. Okay, or I grab their wrist. That way, once I have it, now I can work. Okay, second thing is head position. Okay, I never want a sideways head to their head. Okay, Joe Heskett, two-time NCAA champion, world team member, superstar. He told me that you want to have your square shoulders, your triangle stance. So it's your shoulders and your head, and you never want them to be cockeyed or off balance. Okay, you always want them square. And so if you can focus on that, and when you're creating angles, keeping your shoulders in your head, but creating an angle around your opponent. Okay, so that's how I try to focus on my head position, is keeping it in a perfect line with my shoulders and then encroaching on my opponent and trying to break off his perfect triangle. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so my things are my stance, my elbow position, collecting wrists before I attack the head, and then my head position, especially in comparison to his position. Okay, next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get my whole body to one half of his. All right, what I mean by that is if I have both wrists here, okay, if I have control of both wrists, I'm gonna start working to having 2-on-1, okay, and start climbing up the arm that way. Okay, if I have an underhook and a wrist, okay, I have both sides of his body, I'm gonna start swinging. I'm gonna let go of that wrist. I'm gonna come over to the head, okay, or I'm gonna grab this own wrist, okay, and I'll start pulling. Okay, I'm gonna try to get two hands on my body on one side of his. That way I can totally dominate it. All right, Russian tie, two hands to one. Now I can start pulling and pushing. And that's what leads me into my third and, in my opinion, the most important part of hand fighting is you have to change directions, okay? You have to give pressure. You have to give pressure. And when I do, what's he gonna do? He's gonna respond, okay? And when he does, he's gonna hold his ground, he's gonna fight back, and then I'm gonna release and snap, okay? And that'll use their momentum against them. Their action of trying to fight into you, and then you accelerate them through, is gonna make them overcommit and lose their position, okay? So, and that can come in a bunch of different ways. But one thing, that really makes sense to me is hand fighting, creating an angle to get two hands to one, driving in, feeling pressure. When I feel the resistance, and a big mistake I see when I teach people this is that they try to do it like it's a move. It's like I drive in, then I snap. No, you gotta be a little bit more patient than that. I drive in, he doesn't do anything, well then I drive in again. I take him all the way out of bounds, okay? He has to stay in bounds. It's the rules of wrestling, all right? So when I drive in, even if the first or second time he doesn't, eventually they're gonna come back into you, okay? And then when they do, you snap, and that's your opportunity, okay? Create angles, get to your offense, okay? Whether it's front headlock, whether it's going underneath of them, and that's it too. If I drive in on my hand fight, I'm driving in, and I feel it, boom, there it is. I go underneath in perfect position, right? So, the keys to my hand fight are my positions, trying to dominate one side of the body, and then pressure, pull, release. Okay, pressure in, feel the resistance, release, get them to overcommit, use their momentum against them. All right, so I hope this stuff helped you out. Let me know, send me a text back. See ya.